Hey guys, today I have a topic for you before I shirk now longer and will now just get it over with. The monkey branching. Why do I shirk it? Well, because my ex did it and it still hurts. But I also don't want to make it too far away. After all, it might get you more from someone who just got it off. So what is this exactly now? Monkey branching is the process of still being in a relationship and not leaving it until you've already got the next partner 100%. Like a monkey that lets go of the last branch only when it already has the new one in its hand. So you don't take any risk, but from the moment of separation you already have a new one, who gives you the attention you want. Whether this is then always the way you imagine it, etc., is up to you. The thought, or at least the subconscious decision behind it, is mostly that one cannot be alone or wants to make the separation easier for himself. What happened? One usually goes out of the relationship, no matter whether one is the separating one or the separated one. A large part of his previous life, everyday life, and also his bond with an important person falls away. It triggers in both exes sooner or later a feeling of emptiness and fear. For you at the moment of separation, and for your ex when she broke up with you. Well, or earlier, but out over a longer period of time in which her attraction to you became less and less. But also afterwards, after the separation still. It is simply missing something first. Whether you want to admit this to yourself now or not. In the worst case you go her with it then on the sack, and with it you show her then again and again that she was right with it and give her no space at all for this fear. This feeling, this fear they bypass with the monkey branching. They are distracted and they don't have to focus on themselves or work on themselves. The issue that goes along with that is of course the rebound relationship, but this is mainly supposed to be about why people do that. And yes, men do that too. If I look in my past, there was also a situation where I did that myself. But today I know why that was the case, and that today I would not have entered into the relationship in the first place. But we don't have to think back that far. Most of the time, your exes are already emotionally detached from you when the process of monkey branching starts. If they weren't, and if their attraction to you was still as strong as it needs to be for a relationship, they would walk through the world with blinders on and only see you when thinking about love and the opposite sex. Especially women. With men I don't have to talk about the fact that we define love differently but the principle of it is the same. If the construct of your bond is strong enough and you are the best option for each other and there for each other, then you don't even think about the fact that someone else has to give you something that you don't have that way. That's not the case now, and they sign up on dating sites, write back orbiters, or don't react to pickups at work or anywhere else averse like before. The process starts slowly, and at some point, when they are at the point where they are seriously thinking about a breakup, they realize it. Or vice versa, they realize it and therefore think about the reasons. Just when they start to look at the dating market and realize that they have some value on it, then it starts for them. And that was your moment. The last one where you could have said, "I'm out, you're treating me disrespectfully, have a nice life," yet that would have increased your value again in their eyes. Everything else and all the work you could have put into the relationship would have had to happen before that moment. Because now it is only a desperate reaction for her to want to keep her with you. And it doesn't matter if she says something like, "Oh, the guy I write with on Facebook is just a friend," or "my colleague, who always brings me flirting coffee, would never have a chance." She no longer has any respect for you. And I don't mean that in a "she deserves respect" way. No, but she no longer sees you as an equal partner. You have managed that she no longer respects you on this level. The action is the result of this. The fact that she is still doing the whole thing in the relationship is due to her fear of being alone and having to cope with the grief alone. By the way, if you now get the great idea of wanting to explain this to her and send her a psychological profile of her, she will tear you apart and deny everything. No one likes to be embarrassed like that, even though we all know why we act a certain way. The fear of being alone is due to a low self-worth. And that doesn't have to be short-term. Especially with women, the inner clock can play a role, and since she has wasted a lot of time now and absolutely has to meet someone new so that she doesn't grow old alone and lonely. As in 99% of cases, I advise you to no contact. Sit back when it comes to her and let her make her mistakes. A relationship that comes from monkey branching is actually the definition of a rebound. Rose-colored glasses, overlook all his faults, only see in him what you could not be for her. Hardly the truly perfect partner. You actually just have more reasons to not want to contact her right now, and if she ever knocks again, make her work really hard to be allowed back into your life. Because that kind of thing is just the very worst. Mostly they justify it then somehow, and whether there is now said, no, but I came together with him only afterwards, and before that nothing happened, although they have already written a month and a half before the real separation with him. Sorry, but that's just ridiculous. Nothing you should hold against them again sometime, if they really mean something to you. But you have to realize the mistake yourself. One should have at any time the balls in the trousers, whether woman or man. The people with someone is to be able to tell the truth. And if you are not able to recognize that the one you are writing with is a candidate with whom you can imagine something after the breakup and what it all actually boils down to, how incapable are you of admitting your feelings? Exes you have lost through monkey branching have rightly almost completely destroyed your trust, or maybe even completely destroyed it. In my case, the trust and the great love you can have in life. I don't believe in that anymore. Thank you for that. And I mean that completely. Thank you. That's what has kept me grounded and with my partner in every relationship so far. Without that thinking, and with attraction and commitment being everything and therefore something that needs to be worked on constantly, I'm doing better even in single life. And I know that if we improve ourselves, our society can get better too. Not necessarily the one we currently have, but generally the one we will get to know through it. And that in turn is a feeling that is incredibly valuable. So monkey branching, the worst way to end a relationship besides cheating directly. The whole thing shows little inner strength and self-worth, and also blocks the chance to improve oneself. You drag the problems you had from the old relationship into the new one. The new partner may react differently, but you must also always think, at the beginning of a relationship you might have let her get away with any crap and would not have noticed it. Take care of yourself and work on yourself and let her make her mistakes. She will notice that in the end, even if it doesn't look like it. Take care and see you in the next video.